doesn't stay. But now it's time for me to go. The autumn moonlight's my way. But now I smell the rain, and with it pain, and it's heading my way. Sometimes I grow so tired, but I know about one thing I got to do. I ramble on, and now the time is now. Sing my song. I'm going round the world, I gotta find my girl on my way. I've been this way 10 years till the day. Ramble on, I'm the queen of all my dreams. Got no time for spreading. The time has come to be gone. And though our health we drank 1,000 times, it's time to ramble on.
I guess that was pretty obvious that was a mic pick, huh? It was. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. Mike Williver, how are you?
I'm very good. How's everybody tonight? Thanks for showing up, everybody. It was, I assume it's for me, not for Lucy. I mean, why would anybody show up for Lucy?
Yeah, that's not why we have as many viewers as we have or anything. But she is here with us, Lucy Tightbox, the everyone's favorite legal analyst in the Dabbleverse, slumming it with the boys.
Oh, stop it, you. Everybody's favorite legal analyst is obviously Danny Savalos.
Well, we're going to get to some of that later.
Yeah. She's not even a lawyer. She's a paralegal.
John thinks Lucy's in love with Danny. She's going to have to fight me for him. I'll tell you.
I think that there might be a couple of people in line ahead of me. I'll be honest.
The folks on Dabblers Anonymous love him. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. We are going to be talking about the recent court documents. That's why the lovely Lucy Tightbox is here with us. We also, I don't know why John thinks that TSN is not allowed to stream, and he was talking about he's going to report us for ban evasion tonight. So I don't know if he thinks that we were doing the Uncle Rico show over here, or if he thinks that because if TSN were suspended, that I couldn't stream on my channel. What is
He
that?
probably got some bad information from
Well, he
somebody, if
definitely
I
got
had
some
to
bad
guess.
Yeah. So anybody that thinks we're banned or can't stream or anything, we are 100% not. And the proof is in the pudding, as John would say. After the blunder years that got blocked, we did a rate. So if we couldn't stream, we wouldn't have been streaming a minute and a half after the blunder years ended. It just got blocked. So it can't be seen. It sucks.
I like to imagine him like 37 bush lights deep, watching this, trying to figure out who the hell I am and why is that guy from Breaking Bad talking to Frog and Lucy? What's happening? He's confused.
If somebody's channel getting blocked was a reason for someone not to stream, we'd have way more problems with Williver than we do with TSN, because you guys get hit a lot over there.
Yeah, we do. It's like I forgot how many subscribers we have, but it's a lot, and people
3.5
complain
million.
a lot. Yeah.
But somehow when you're blocked from uploading on the main channel, you can still upload on the extra channel.
Yeah, it's happened. It doesn't happen much, but it happened once. The main channel's got 3.5 million subs, and it was like a week they couldn't upload.
Yep.
And the extra channel is named the exact same thing, just with the word extra as a suffix. And they were able to upload there every day, exact same people, exact same kind of content. So it's not really a thing, I don't think.
There is no ban evasion over here, John, but you can feel free to report us for it. So they're not showing up in StreamYard, but before the show, Technicolor became a member, and Technicolor also gifted 5 memberships.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Dan Varney over here gifting 10. Nope. 20. Thank you, Mr. Varney. Good to see you. And with a $10 super chat. Oh, hey, Froggy, Lucy, and Williver. Let's go.
Oh, hey, Dan.
Let's go, Dan.
Hey, Dan Varney. 18 Cats Unedited. I'm using this just to say hi to Kaylee.
Hi.
We know that's why everyone's here. Johnny K. Steele says, love you guys and Lucy as well. Everybody loves
thank
Lucy. RT3 with $5 says, I'm going to have to tune in later. I'm catching Barbarella at the...
Ooh, Mahoning Drive-In.
I just watched the free documentary on YouTube. That's fascinating.
Am I the only one that doesn't know what any of those things are?
I don't know. Maybe
Yes.
you know about it. Yeah.
Very consistent for you, Frog. I'll be honest. Mahoning Drive-In is an amazing drive-in theater, and RTT3 and I have been talking about a bunch. So I'm jealous. Wish I was there.
Rochester on Wednesday. Drinks on me, Lucy. Are you? Well, I guess you are going to be. Are you going to court?
I am going to go to court. I'm going to try to get interviews before and after from whoever the heck shows up. I'm going to do some streams. I'm planning that this weekend, so you will see some posts from me on Twitter about what exactly is going to be going on that day.
Nice.
I'm so jealous.
It's going to be fun.
Florida 49ers fan gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much. And Kevin Carbone with 10. Wow, you guys are the best. And Florida 49ers fan becoming a member all by him damn self. Thank you so much. And we have a super tip from our friend Trigger. It is an image, and it says, Lucy, please do my show. I'll handpick some oranges for you and send them to New York.
That sounds very fun and orangey.
I will do that for you. I did see a shark meme on Instagram today for some reason and thought about it. I didn't send it to you.
I got tagged in a couple of shark things today. Everybody's aware of my thing. It's great.
Everybody. And this the real Carl says, Kaylee, nice to meet you last weekend. Member for 6. Thanks, buddy.
Great meeting you too. I love the shirt.
Yeah, Hackamania. Everybody seems to have had a good time except the people that didn't go and that are talking about it on Reddit.
Little FOMO, I think.
Yeah. DabbleCon 3 will be coming up soon as we settle this lawsuit, and we can talk about all of it. There's going to be a lot I want to say tonight but can't. But Lucy can, and Mike has no idea about any of this. I feel like it's going to be very interesting to hear Mike react to Bennett's letter. And
like at my first AA meeting, I'm just here to listen. I'm just here to listen and learn from you good people.
Before we get started,
you will have earned a chip by the end of this.
Okay, very good. I just need a 24-hour chip, and I'll be so happy.
I do have some nonsense that I was pulling stuff for tomorrow too, so I did have some nonsense. I thought we would start with this, Mike.
I'm gonna leave this crap, okay? So I wait till I have to take a crap, all right? But when I take my crap, I go to the store, all right? And I've put things inside of my bed As soon as I get back to my car, someone has dug through my bed like they were looking to rape me.
Right, of course.
Yup. I feel like there is somebody who keeps breaking into my car that wants to do something disgusting to me, worse than Patrick putting a morning after pill in my water over and over and over again, and I press charges and you don't do shit to him.
Why does this need to be on social media, really?
Well, this is the sort of person that I would find me when I was on duty, and I'd have to interact with this person. And I would lean in and I would say something like, you know we're watching you, right? You know that. And then they would leave me alone usually. That was a good way to get rid of that person.
Normally I say I can fix her, but I don't think I can fix her.
No, nobody can fix her.
Beyond
Nobody.
fixing, I think.
Yep.
I'm surprised you would want to.
No,
everybody deserves a chance.
I don't know.
I also thought this was interesting because we've been talking a lot about court lately, and John maybe having to show up to court, and then this came across my timeline and seemed appropriate.
Oh, alcohol, I'm told, Miss Hinkle. Are you
I
drunk?
was drinking last night.
Are you drunk?
No.
We're going to give you a PBT, okay? You got a .166.
I was drinking till 4:01 and I didn't tell that I couldn't do that was.
You're still drunk. Who drove here?
My friend.
Who's- Is this the guy here? Did he drive?
Sir Raymond. Sir Ronald Raymond Hamilton.
Sir Ronald Raymond, yes.
Slow down.
President.
What?
The 11th
Hang on a
president.
second. Who?
The
If you're gonna
11th
lie
president
big,
to
you know.
the
Sir
United States
Ronald Raymond.
President.
What's his name?
Sir Ronald Raymond Hamilton.
At least she said it right both times.
got it.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance? Is that what you said?
This judge knows he's got a viral video on his hands. He's trying to stretch this out as much as he possibly can.
Hopefully he's the one that makes money off of it. You know?
No, sorry.
Yeah,
Nope. Those are
probably
court
not.
cameras. Yeah, he can't monetize that, unfortunately. Sir
Funny
Raymond
thing about-
Hamilton.
Yeah. I could totally see John showing up shit-faced to court, though. Right?
I could too.
I mean, we all agree
absolutely.
that that's what he would do. Yeah.
That much we can all agree on, yes.
And then, real quick before we get into the document, since we have Lucy here, this came across my timeline, and I thought I would get her opinion on it.
What's the first step to hacking the female brain?
The very first step is you have to establish that you are a high-value male.
How do you do that?
Well, there's a lot of ways to do it, but one of the best ways is to tell them that a story that indicates you are of high value.
So give me a story. Give me a story that illustrates.
Yeah,
how-
I
I'll
wanna
give you one
know.
right now.
Okay.
I show up to the bar. You're a pretty lady. And I go,
Lucy, you're a pretty.
I'm a Puyowewi. Yeah.
oh, I'm late to the bar. Crap. And she'll go, what happened? I'll go, well, pretty much spilt Dr. Pepper all over my seats. Now I couldn't even take the helicopter.
Now you're intrigued, right? You're like, oh, wait a minute. Well, go on. Now I'm
Helicopter, you say?
listening. Yeah.
I gotta
Now-
admit that might work.
Yeah.
Let me see said helicopter.
If you break that down,
Yep.
first he's thinking he's late, so he's busy. And that actually means that he's doing other cool stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then, I also dropped a hint that I drink Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper's.
That is the highest quality soda that there is.
It's pretty good.
Right.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
And then I complained about spilling on the seats. And if you listen carefully, I was talking about helicopter.
Careful.
Now, helicopter is a very expensive kind of car that goes like up and around.
Yes.
And ladies know that helicopters are like really good.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, and ladies have just recently have gotten into helicopters.
Just recently.
Yeah, just recently, ladies started to get into helicopters.
What do you think that was the reason for that?
Probably the internet or Facebook.
They didn't probably know about it before,
What?
and the internet showed them what the.
Yeah, girls are able to see pictures of helicopters now. And now they have all these ideas about helicopters, and they actually are really interested in them.
Smart idea.
I think the other guy's doing a bit, but I think this guy may be serious.
I
Oh,
don't
he's
know.
definitely serious.
I've
he
read
read the
him-
game.
I've seen him work. Lucy, ask yourself, how many times have you heard "Did it hurt when you fell from heaven?" Right? This guy's he's working for your attention. You know, he's
I
talking about
know.
Dr. Pepper. I'm late for the bar. He's talking about helicopters. He's really putting in the work, and that has to count for something, I feel like.
It does count for something. And again, he definitely read the game. He is doing the mystery thing right here. He's peacocking with the weird sunglasses.
Right.
I know what he's doing. Yeah.
He's a man of mystery a little bit.
The voice, though.
You can get past that, Lucy. I feel like you can get past that for sure.
Is he foreign or?
Nah, speech impediment, 100%.
Oh,
I bet he has a lot of really weird stories. I bet all of them are fake, but
Yes.
and like 80% of them involve helicopters. But I want to hear them.
When I sent that to you, Joe, I think I might have said Timu Andrew Tate. I'm not sure if I said that or not. But
you did.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Big Daddy Dodo's here with $5. Says, "Don't touch my water." Yeah.
That's so terrifying. You imagine waking up to that after a blackout. John's woken up to something like that at least once, I promise you.
Yeah, he had like a black prostitute staying with him for a time.
Allegedly?
No, not allegedly. That's a true story. We saw her on camera. Yeah.
I don't have a big audience to send me a defense fund. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? We have a small audience here. So
Manigan with 20 gifted memberships. Thank you, you guys are the best. Dixon Sider says, "Master retard." I think he is talking about our last video.
Mystery.
Mystery. Oh, I misread that.
It's all right. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Carl's Frosted Tip says, "Hey, Beef, call me about the powder he didn't show." Sounds like there's nefarious things going on. No go what?
I love how quickly they change their avatars. It's very impressive.
It's sort of Big Daddy Dodo's things. I don't have the drop. Shuli has it, but one of the raids, one of the guys went off on him for having his picture of his avatar. Carl's Frosted Tip says the chair is against the wall.
The cow barks twice at midnight.
Is that a code?
Yes.
Chill. I think Mike is a narc. Lucy
Beef
definitely is.
I thought we were friends, man. What the heck? I'm not coming on your show anymore.
Mike's friends with me. I mean, that should say it all. She was COVID clunge. Yeah,
wow.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Oh, he's so right. That's when it was. It was during COVID that the black prostitute was staying at his house.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, my God.
Yeah. They kissed on camera.
Ago. Yeah.
It would take me a minute to track down that clip, but we have it somewhere. They kissed on camera. It was fucking foul.
So tell me, was she a lodge girl? Big through the hips?
No, she was crackhead skinny.
That was a Silence of the Lambs reference, by the way. You're probably too young for that.
Oh, what now?
Nothing.
Oliver says, there are no cops here, right? Oh, hey, Joe. People in the comments of one of our videos seem to think I'm a cop for some reason, which is weird. They're like, these two cops talking to him. It's like, there's not two cops here.
You're a regular Serpico.
Yeah, there's a former cop here. All right, let's get into this. We have Bennett Susser's response. Now, to set this up for Mike, because I'm sure the 407 people watching, hit like, by the way, please. I am sure they all know the story. Most of them probably watched it on Lucy's channel last night. But for Mike, so Danny was having some trouble getting in touch with John's lawyers, Bennett Susser and Tabor Benedict. So he sent a letter to the court saying, hey, I can't get in touch with these guys. Can we schedule a conference to see where things are at with this? And he provided some examples, and the court got back to them that day. I mean, we're going to get into the timeline, but anyway, this is John's lawyer's response to Danny requesting the in-person conference. Dear Justice Dina Folo, my firm and I represent the plaintiff, John Melendez, in the above referenced matter. The court has scheduled an in-person conference hearing in chambers for Wednesday, April 22nd at 11 a.m. For the reasons set forth below, I respectfully request that the date be moved to an earlier or later date due to a scheduling conflict, and that I and Mr. Savalos, if he so desires, participate by telephone or video conferencing app. It says his conflict. I have a previously set mediation scheduled for April 22nd in a New Jersey matter. I would be available the following dates, and he lists his availability. Request for participation via telephone or video conferencing app currently pending before the court, and he misspells the are various. Oh, before we even get to this, because I want to talk about this, but did anyone else notice the date on this is April 6th? So
I did.
It
So he
sort of
filed it
seems
April 15th.
April
It's dated
15th.
April 6th.
Right. And it's not a typo, because if it said the 5th, you could be like, well, he forgot the 1, right? But it says the 6th, almost as if he drafted this, 9 days ago and never sent it to the court.
Well, he had a lot of troubles that we'll hear about shortly.
Yeah. Okay, so spells the wrong. So currently pending before the court are various motions whose outcomes will greatly affect the course of continued litigation. Now, the motions pending before the court are our motion to dismiss and our motion for anti-slap. So it seems like he's saying here, to me, that he's saying there's some motions that are going to greatly affect this case by dismissing it and hitting us with sanctions. There's really no need for me to come to Rochester for the conference.
Well, I think, I'll be honest, it's been a while since I looked back at paperwork, but I think that he still has his motion to amend the complaint for a second time pending. I believe that motion is still pending on plaintiff's side. But what's most peculiar about this particular sentence to me is that this appearance on April 22nd is not scheduled to be a motion hearing. So I don't know why he's bringing up the motions when talking about this appearance. I would call that atypical.
I'm telling you, it's because in his mind, he's saying, Judge, listen, this is about to get dismissed when you see their motion to dismiss. So there's no sense dragging me up to Rochester for this.
So you think that Susser is also submitting to the fact that it's probably not winnable at this point on their side?
God, they have to know. They have to know. And this is another thing that's weird. He says, I respectfully submit that the conference at this time will be productive.
Yes. What a weird sentence.
I think he meant will not be productive, because his next sentence is, at best, I do not believe the conference will last more than 20 minutes. So I think he's saying that a conference wouldn't be productive, and he left out a word. I don't know. But if he is saying that a conference will be productive, that's sort of what Danny's point was in requesting it. So I guess at least we agree on that much. All right. So now here's his reasons why he can't make it. I live in New Jersey. I estimate that traveling back and forth to Rochester, including getting to and from the airport and home/courthouse and clearing airport security, which I understand is long at Newark Liberty Airport, will be at least 6 hours. That's a weird kind of aside there, because it's like what you've never flown at. He's like, well, I understand. People have told I've never flown out of Newark, even though I live in New Jersey and it's the only major airport.
I just flew in and out of Newark, and the security lines were not long, I would say. I would say that's a wildly weird thing to say. But in addition to that, and I pointed this out last night when I was talking about this, it only takes about 5.5 hours to drive to Rochester. So get in the car, you weirdo.
Yeah, and it would be cheaper probably. It's like a tank of gas.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This will be a significant expense in both airfare and my fees. Another reason for my request is that I have had a difficult 2026 thus far, with a variety of my own health issues, on top of ensuring that my 100-year-old mother, who is hospitalized, where we almost lost her, and is currently in a physical rehab facility, obtains the necessary care and treatment that she needs. Not an easy thing to do remotely, but has been exceedingly time-consuming. Notwithstanding these issues, I strive to meet my various litigation deadlines in a number of matters, I think he meant. This is why I've been delayed in making this request to the court. Finally, the parties are discussing ways to resolve this dispute.
Can I say something right off the bat?
Please.
When I was an agent, I couldn't say any of this stuff to anyone in the court. They were like, "Hey, fuck you, show up." Like I didn't have any options. Like, oh, I had rough times. I had family issues. I had health issues. No one cared. I couldn't plead to the court. Oh, gee whiz, judge, I'm sad because my dog died. No one cared. Like I didn't know lawyers could even do this. This is all new to me. Is this a normal thing?
I will say that New York State, I would not call any of this normal. None of this is normal.
Yeah, from the beginning.
But what I will say is that New York state courts do have a tendency, at least from my experience seeing them on the paralegal end, to want to accommodate people's schedules. And so we definitely do see communications where somebody might say, hey, something came up. I can't do this date. Is it possible that we just push it forward?
That part I totally get. I totally get that. It's the other part that I'm like, okay, sorry, your life sucks, but
yeah, that's the weirdest part to me too, is why are we putting in all these excuses? And in addition to that, I would say that a much more typical way for Susser to have behaved in order to get this court date adjourned would have been to do what's called a stipulation with Danny Savalos and with Carl and Shuli in order to get the adjourned date, as opposed to going and whining and bitching to the court about it.
Yeah. And as Danny's going to point out in his response that we're going to look at in a second, he had a lot of opportunities to send this letter to the court. And it's just very weird. Like, you would think the hearing or mediation that he says he has and the whole like, hey, dude, it's going to be a hassle to travel up there for a 20-minute hearing are sort of reasonable arguments where he wouldn't have had to go into the whole my mother and 100-year-old mother. I mean, Lucy pointed this out, but it's worth repeating. This is now the second of John's attorneys that has had to drag in some personal matter and name people in their life for no reason whatsoever. Fucking bizarre. Almost 500 people in here. Please hit like and subscribe if you are not, because we don't normally have that many people watching. So many of you are new, and we don't normally talk about court documents. We normally watch stupid badge cams, but this is too delicious.
Some of them are serious badge cams. Most of them are stupid, though.
Not in a while, though. That first one that was like really heavy, I think we were like, all right, no.
Yeah, first one off the bat, Joe. I don't know if you know this, Miss Tightbox, but the first one off the bat, Joe has like the police stumbling across two women who had dead children in their luggage, dead little children. I'm like, Joe, what the hell? I regret partnering with you immediately. I said,
like,
please,
no
no more
going
dead
on
kids.
Creep off with dead baby stuff like that. Come on.
He's honored that request, by the way.
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't watch that one, because it's I think they watched some stuff from Explore with Us over there, right?
On Creep Off?
Yeah.
They do the competition, Carl and Vinny Paulino, they do competitions of worst, biggest creeps. And then they'll do like some cop cams and stuff like that. But Dead Baby Cop Cam is probably, they might have already done that one.
Great band name.
Yeah.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dead Baby Cop Cam.
Yes, I love it.
Here's Danny's response to his letter. So I think, let me see real quick. Susser's was filed at, doesn't say the time. Where does it say the time? But it was like,
should be in the top left.
I don't know. 129 was when Dan. So okay, Susser files his letter at 12:58, and Danny files his letter at 129. So roughly half an hour later, Danny. And for the record, Susser's letter is 2 pages. Danny's is 5 pages. Here we go. Okay, I think we can skip this part. It's all about that he represents them and blah, blah, blah. The court should deny the plaintiff's motion to adjourn or appear virtually. The court, and in particular, the court's administrative assistant, Miss Brett, are very familiar with the court's own repeated efforts to contact both of plaintiff's attorneys to schedule the in-person conference on a mutually convenient date. Both Mr. Susser and Mr. Benedict had plenty of opportunities to weigh in, object, or mention that Mr. Susser had an arbitration. Instead, they both ignored the court's communications entirely.
Smackdown. I love
already. So, Mike, you've dealt with probably hundreds of lawyers as a federal agent in 30 years, right?
Yes.
Do you already see a quality difference in the writing of the two attorneys?
Yes, and this is very tersely written. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yes, he's a killer, Dan. The court should go ahead and schedule the in-person conference. Notably, Mr. Susser's 415 letter offers no explanation why he couldn't respond to Ms. Brett's emails for weeks. If the court is familiar with plaintiff's attorneys, history of inexplicable nonchalance, which is a great turn of phrase from Danny.
Another good band name, by the way.
Yes.
They could be opening for the Dead Baby Badge Cam.
Cop Cam. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
The court need not waste additional time reading the recited background below as provided as context for the record. However, I respectfully request that the court review section 2 below. I feared Mr. Susser would file something late and ask for a virtual hearing or adjournment. I wrote him yesterday to advise him that I would oppose such requests. I expected that he would offer all kinds of excuses in support of his request for an adjournment/virtual hearing, and he did. Section 2 below addresses Mr. Susser's troubling habit in other cases of missing deadlines, asking for late forgiveness, and offering an array of excuses that range from the opaque to the bizarre. Another great line from Dan. So here's where we get into the timeline. Okay, so again, so on Monday, the 30th of March at 11:07 a.m., Ms. Donna Brett, the administrative assistant to the court, emailed the parties' attorneys asking them to respond with their availability for 3 possible dates for a conference. A little over an hour later at 12:17 p.m., I responded with my availability. Both of plaintiffs' attorneys ignored Ms. Brett's email. Neither responded. By Wednesday, the 1st of April at 2:23 p.m., Ms. Brett, having heard nothing from either of plaintiff's attorneys, again emailed plaintiff's attorneys and asked them to respond and provide their availability. The same day at 2:49 p.m., I responded to Ms. Brett's email confirming that I had received her email. Okay, so this is where the timeline and that date on that other letter gets weird to me. Finally, on Friday, April 3rd at 11:17 p.m., having been ignored by plaintiff's attorneys for an entire week, Ms. Brett went ahead and scheduled the status conference by email, and a notification shortly thereafter filed on NICEF, and I responded at 11:46 a.m. to let Ms. Brett know I had received her email. It was only then at 12:08 p.m. that any of the plaintiff's attorneys finally responded, a week after Ms. Brett's Monday email. But plaintiff's response was even more cryptic than their non-responses. Attorney Bennett Susser's email contained one line: I am dealing with an emergency. I will respond Monday. So interestingly, guess what the date was Monday?
April 6th.
By the way,
April 6th.
they should press him to ask what the emergency was and get documentation. That's probably, I'm not going to say. But if I were them, I'd be like, what emergency was that exactly? And can you document what the emergency was? I would press for further information.
I'm glad you want to know what the emergencies were, because we are going to get to that tonight.
Oh, very good. All right, I'll shut up.
I also just want to say about this, this is so peculiar to me. So as a paralegal, I know that most attorneys have paralegals. And I don't think I've actually made this point before, but typically if you're having an emergency, like some of the emergency situations that we'll get into with Susser relatively soon, I won't spoil them right now. I suspect a lot of people in the chat here already know them. But if you have an emergency, what you do is you pass that work off to your paralegal. And you say, hey, can you respond to the court before the court schedules the date? Can you, as the paralegal, respond to the court and say, there's been an emergency. Can you please give us a couple of additional days? That's a normal course of action.
I am fascinated by the fact that he said he was going to respond Monday, sent in a letter on the 15th that's dated Monday the 6th.
Yeah.
I don't think. Do you think he strategically decided, Lucy, to not send that email for some reason? Or you think he's such a clusterfuck that it just sat there?
It is so hard to tell. I've read a lot of his paperwork in other cases that he's handled, and sometimes he actually seems like a pretty good attorney to me. I mean, again, maybe not his excuses and dog ate my homework kind of stuff, but he seems reasonable and responsible in many, many situations. So I just don't understand what in the hell has happened to him in this horrible year of 2026 that has made him incomprehensible and not take any actions at all.
As we'll get to later, it starts in 2025, but we also
it sure does.
So many super chats real fast. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are amazing. We're going to start with Kimbo Lee gifting 10 memberships. Thank you so much. Carl's Frosted Tips with $2 says, the man has a nice mustache. It's 12:56. And then Beef Drippin says, KFT, the eagle is flying at midnight. Beef tips. I think we just activated a sleeper cell.
Yep.
Kimbo Lee, member for 5 months, says, wow, 5 months goes fast. Great shows, Frog and Mike. Thank you.
Kimbo Lee.
Beef Drippins with $2 says, KFT, he's browner than Frog and don't left hand shake.
Do you get that one, Frog?
I don't. Is left hand shake a thing? I do not know.
It's for the Middle Eastern folks who wipe their. Yeah, I'll tell you later.
I'm also half Italian, by the way. Bacon Bits member for a month says, hey, boys and Lucy, have a great show. FSJ and TSN for life.
That's right.
I think he means FSJ full stop TSN for life, not FSJ and FTSN, I think is what he means.
I think.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Who can say?
Trent Hill with $7 Canadian says, Beef, John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. There's a whole nother show going on in our chat. I love it. Painkiller member for 2 months is looking forward to seeing you and Jenna again at DabbleCon 3. I look forward to seeing you again, my friend. Carl's Frosted Tips.
Nice.
Beef, hide the coffee cake. Doggy is coming.
Excellent avatar, by the way.
Very handsome man there.
Yes.
We have Aku Mugen, member for a month, says, Ramon, get this host and speak and spell. What?
Yeah.
Get this host speak and spell.
Case in point. I think we just made our point right there.
I read worse than Shuli. Beef Drippins, Lucy has the dog. I repeat, Lucy has the dog, Texas. Carl's Frosted Tips is at Lowe's, duct tape, calcium, shovel, hurry. What kind of shovel? Is it a grain shovel? That became
that's it.
last night.
No one will get that,
place.
By the way. It's a totally different world. It's like when your friends from work meet your friends from Bridge Club.
Yeah. Big Daddy Doo-Doo becoming a member. Thank you so much, my friend. Beef Drippins with $2 says, KFT, do not flush the duty. The car is orange.
I'm jealous of how high Beef Drippins is. He's so high right now, dude. So incredibly high.
Our friend Nick saw Mike just text me. He's upset Lucy isn't showing cleavage. Stop texting me your feelings, Williver.
I will not stop texting you my feelings, and that is pronounced cleavage, if I'm guessing from all those funny characters you use in that.
Yeah, when you're on the Uncle Rico show, the puppies are all out. You come over here, you're wearing a t-shirt. I see how
it's
is.
Appropriate.
Listen,
Mrs. Williver was very upset. Mrs. Tightbox is going to be on the show, so I said, Mrs. Tightbox, you can dial it back. We'd all appreciate it.
Just tell her, listen, I heard her box isn't even really that tight.
For the sake of my marriage, if you could just put on something, please. Modesty is key.
For
548 people watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe buttons. Appreciate everybody being here. Drunk Engineer with $5 says, every time I read a Susser document detailing his daily problems, I can't help but read it in Mort Goldman's voice. If Shuli were here, he could probably do a Mort Goldman impression, but he's banned from YouTube, so he's not allowed here.
Real quick, Jack Sampson Fever said, she's Kaylee now, not Lucy.
It's true. That is usually how I define if I'm Kaylee or Lucy, but I think I'm Lucy tonight. Right. It's very exciting under the shirt. We'll just say that.
I believe it. Beef Drippin says, this is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. Susser found the ball. Do not open.
Totally cryptic.
I bet he's regretting getting hooked up in this case. Whatever favor he owed to Tabor Benedict that got him involved in this case, he is probably regretting it big time.
Real quick, I am very curious. I don't think that we'll ever officially know the answer. There's obviously a lot of speculation about it, but I really would love to know how John got hooked up with both of those attorneys. I don't think we're ever going to know the real story of that.
Probably not, but there is certainly a story with Susser that will be told at DabbleCon 3 that will be worth the price of admission. I shit you not. All right. Geary Rexwork with $2 says, Kaylee has pretty eyes and a brain. Oh, hey, Joe. Oh, hey, you. Mike has pretty eyes and a brain, too, by the way.
Facts.
Look at those baby. What color are those?
They're green.
Greens. John Skippy Halloween Hail with $2 says, giant over-explained details is always a giant red flag. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you usually can tell when somebody's lying.
There's going to be a lot of over-explained details coming up. Carl's Frosted Tips. He got out. My bike is gone. Waffle House I-40. I think we know what he's talking about there. BMC with $10. Susser can send an associate in his place for the mediation, as these are generally straightforward. Still, one would expect this case would be a priority for him. I agree. That's a good point. And also, he could send Tabber to Rochester.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be Susser.
And he could have of counsel attorney in different cities. So, for example, many attorneys, even if they take cases all over the state of New York, they might have an of counsel attorney who lives in a different area than they do, and they cover that area for them. It's very peculiar.
So that's true. Then Lucy, he could send, Kaylee, he could send an associate in his place. That wouldn't be a big deal.
In most cases, no. I have not, at least in the type of law that I practice, I have not seen that ever being an issue. I know that there might be very specific things that happen with tort cases like this one where you're not allowed to do that, but I've never heard anything. Actually, BMC would probably know that better than I do. So if BMC says it's okay, then I trust BMC.
Got it.
Sorry, our friend Mars just sent me a drop for my board.
Oh, very good. All right, I'll shut up.
Thank you, Mars.
Yes, thank you.
Carl's Frosted Tips with $2 says, roll out the plastic, turn the lights off. Don't get that one. Sorry, buddy. I haven't gotten a lot of those tonight, to be honest with you. Reverend Hamhead with $5. Kaylee, say John shows up at court hammered. What happens? Don't watch Beef Tips. Watch Skeptical Robot Fridays at 7.
I don't think that this judge would put up with that at all. I think he'd probably get thrown out of the courtroom. Or the chambers.
I think it's a very real possibility, especially depending on what time. I mean, court's usually in the morning, right? But like, if
I think it's scheduled for 11 a.m. Hang on, I have the order right here.
That would be awfully early for John.
It's 11 a.m.
I mean, I still wouldn't put it past him to be fucking hammered at 11 a.m. though. We've seen it. We've seen it when he streams, and remember there were times when he sniped the BS show.
Yeah.
And he was hammered at 10 o'clock in the morning.
I'd like to think that he's reasonable enough that he wouldn't be hammered for this, but I think that a lot of people probably disagree with me saying that.
Well, because every time you think that, he manages to make you realize that there's a chance for anything with him.
You're right.
Aaron Brown with $5. Question. Curious if either of you two have seen Frog drink seltzer and chocolate beer like a lady boy. Removing my cap. Hello, Kaylee. Maniacal laugh.
My favorite thing that I've ever seen Frog drink was alcohol at Dabble House.
It was not fun. I do have a
maniacal laugh. I love
that. Yeah, she saw me drink. What was it that Shuli had? Crown Royal Apple.
Yeah, which I don't even want to drink, but you did it, and you took it like a true lady boy. It was great.
There's none of them that are any better than the other to me. It all tastes like shit. I don't like it. BMC, it's midnight in Haifa. The dome is open. L'chaim. Donna G with $20. Thanks, Donna. Hello, boys. Kaylee, such a good job summarizing the latest developments. Keep it up.
Thank you.
This is just too good to pass up. Danny's letter is just so fucking good. Johnny Knoxville with $2. Hey, Miss Lucy, can you do the susser thing?
Susser.
Carl's Frosted Tip says, Rev Handhead, do you want pictures of you sleeping? I'll take pictures of him sleeping. Send them to the Uncle Rico Show pod at gmail.com. Sean, the producer with $5 says, I would think that this is one case where the lawyer would have to show up, since that's one of the items in question in the court to see evidence of.
It's a good point.
Yeah,
that's probably not be happy.
Point. It also makes it really bizarre that Tabber never responded to me. Like, you would think at bare minimum he would have responded to Danny's letter and be like, hey, I'm right here. I'm still involved. I was busy. I was in Europe with the love of my life, Natalie, whatever nonsense he would come up with, but like still check in. And then, I mean, Lucy, you tell me, but it seems like not responding to the court's emails for over a week, basically from Monday to Friday, they're asking you to schedule something and not one of those guys says anything. That cannot be good.
I have to assume that at this point the court is incredibly frustrated with the plaintiff's side. I think that the court actually saying in their initial order from just a few days before all of this, so when they actually scheduled the April 22nd date, which they scheduled on April 3rd, they actually said, if you do not appear at this in-person conference, we will dispose this matter. Now, typically, I only see judges threatening things like that when there has been a lot of egregious things happening. So it seems to me like the judge is already thinking that some crazy shit is going on and is already frustrated. The judge is probably going into this frustrated.
I hope to God we hear tomorrow that he's got to be in Rochester. I was checking my email all day like a fucking psychopath, just waiting to see something saying that those motherfuckers have to go up there.
So I will tell you, and anybody else who is curious, usually the fastest place to see that, obviously anybody who is in direct contact with Danny might get information faster than this, but typically the fastest place to see if the date gets changed is on a website called eCourts. eCourts is going to have actually those appearance dates. NICEF, typically those scheduling orders don't get filed until even sometimes a day later. So eCourts is the place that you want to go to be able to check up on the appearance time changing. But I'm sure everybody will be posting about it as soon as it does. So,
and real quick, while we have 564 people watching, once over with Kaylee, I'm sure all 564 people are already subscribed to her channel. But if you're not subscribed to her channel, you should be. Go over there, and her Patreon as well. Once over with Kaylee, the Active Self-Protection podcast and the Active Self-Protection channels on YouTube. Go check out Mike breaking down badge cams with his friend John Correa. And of course, the Shuli Network, where you can see more nonsense involving Stuttering John. Speaking of, am I unbanned now? Mike, get me and come on. Get at me and come. He wants you to come on him. Oh, and you're muted. Ah, damn it. I shouldn't have said anything. Fuck.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm laughing thinking about the time you were on auto tune and didn't know it or whatever that was.
Yeah.
I was going to say to Kaylee's point, don't think for a minute the judge isn't probably super annoyed with Stuttering John's attorneys. I promise you, they pay attention. I promise you, she, I think it's a he, male judge,
yeah.
is over the top pissed off about their behavior and the way they've comported themselves in this case. And yes, that makes a difference. Judges are just people. What are your thoughts, Kaylee?
I couldn't agree more. I used to, when I first started kind of covering this lawsuit, I always used to describe it as judges, if they wake up and they don't get their morning blowy, then they could change their decision just based on that. I think that
all of us feel that way.
yeah, I know, right? That ruins everybody's day. I think that this judge, any judge who sees this stack of paperwork come across their plate, even if they have not read a single word out of it, is going to go, what the fuck is this? This is such an absurd. I was describing it the other day. There are currently 86 filings in this case, 86 filings, many of which are over 60 pages long. And let me tell you, a typical case at this stage in the lawsuit, I would say would be between 10 and 15, maybe 20 filings.
Yeah, Mike,
No
you don't
judge
even
wants
know. I should send you the link to the time Lucy broke down the initial kind of complaint and our response, because it became a clusterfuck immediately where they were like responding to Danny's motions on the wrong motion trajectory or whatever. What do you call it? Motion sequence. Yeah.
So they would file things on the wrong documents, and then they would try to refile them in the correct way, but they would do things like leave the caption off of the document. I mean, you've never seen such a circus of illegal. I have spent an ungodly amount of time reading these papers, and I still get confused by them.
If you were writing a Dabbleverse movie and you were writing the end of it and you wanted to do this lawsuit thing as like the third act, nobody would ever fucking believe that this Yahoo managed to find two lawyers who are just as fucked up as him.
Right.
It's absolutely amazing.
To my point that judges are just people, I remember filing a case for a guy who'd been deported from the United States back to his country of origin. And he had a lengthy criminal history. I mean, a real scumbag. And so I arrested him for returning to the United States after being deported as a felon. And I bring this case to the judge. He was a gang member. You name it, he did it. And I hand the judge all the paperwork, and it included his criminal history and a readout and a printout. And the judge is flipping page after page after page, and he signs it. He signs the paperwork, and he looks at the criminal history again, and he goes, "Fucking scumbag!" And he hands me the paperwork back, and I'm like, "Yeah, he really is fucking scumbag." They're just people.
They're just like us.
And if you make their life difficult as an attorney, don't think it's not going to affect the outcome. It definitely
don't think.
That's right.
Yes. So Mike,
you see what happens?
Come on, beef.
See what happens? Yes.
Our friend Takedown DDT, Susser's legal docs are funnier than his stand-up. That is a fact, Jack. Jeff Moss, the Condors in flight activate Agent Space Nerd. Our friend Jess with $4.99. There's been mentioned a couple times of a settlement. Would TSNW ATP ever consider settling with John financially?
I hope not.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because we are going to get to it when in Danny's letter, but he does mention that Mr. Susser reached out to him with the settlement offer, which that is at least 2 that we have heard of on the record. Have there been more? I can't say. I cannot say. But there have been at least those 2. Would they ever consider settling with John financially, giving him money? I can't speak for them, obviously, but I would have a hard time believing that either one of them would agree to any kind of settlement. John giving us money, now, maybe in that world, yeah, we might think if he's like, hey, I want to pay Danny's legal fees and give you guys some money to get out of this, I think, they would probably consider it.
I want to remind everybody also, and Jess, I think that is a really good question that obviously none of us here can answer. And Carl and Shuli probably can't talk about at this point. But, initially when all of this was happening back in August of 2025, Carl and Shuli both united on PDP and said, we will not settle this. Now, that being said, obviously there are some settlement negotiations that are happening because we're getting alluded to those both in Susser's letter and in Danny's letter. So we know that is happening, but a settlement doesn't necessarily have to be financial. So there could be something else that is getting discussed, getting attempted to be agreed upon. And it'll be interesting to finally find out about all that stuff and all those discussions at DabbleCon 3.
Isn't it bizarre that we know that, again, from Danny's letter, that Susser's reaching out with settlement offers and John's on his show that same day going, I'll fight this to the bitter end. I'll take this to the appeal. So which is it? Are we trying to settle this or are we fighting this to the bitter end? Thanks, Jess. Cat Diggler. Feel my heat. Anyone? I don't know what that is either. Okay.
Don't get the reference. Sorry.
At least I'm not the only one this time. Wes Bravo with $10 says, Kaylee, it's Wes from Pittsburgh. We met and conversed at DabbleCon 2. Anyway, judges inclined to be tolerant of attorneys like this boob with his flippant attitude. Seems very disrespectful.
Judges do have a tendency in New York to be patient, I would say. And so that is one of the reasons that this might get adjourned or it might turn into a virtual appearance. But I think that at this point, it's pretty bad. It's looking not so good for the plaintiff.
For $10, you can cover my face. Beef Tip Show says being tracked to go to pilot, leave left blinker on. Wait, see, this is why I'm all tongue-tied reading them because they don't make any sense.
This one says being tracked. Should have been a period. Go to pilot. Pilot meaning the rest stop. I'm with you, Beef. I got you. Don't worry about it. Leave left blinker on so that you can spot them in the parking lot. I'm with you. I'm with you, Beef. I'll catch up to you later.
Why don't you read a few, Professor?
Very good. BMC 30 with $2. Thank you. Carl's Frosted Tips, the Wawa and Delco, ATM code 8749. Delco, by the way, that's Delaware County outside of Philadelphia. We'll talk like this. You got hoagie mouth up there. Sunflower Dragon 7516 with $5. Thank you very much for generous. Hello, I am late. Vince spoke to John about Danny and his curriculum. I can never say that word, Lucy. It sounds like a legal word.
I'm bad at that one too. Yeah.
CV, which is like your resume today, and it was hilarious. You know what we're talking about? Anyone know what that means?
Yeah, so I watched a little bit of this today. I haven't seen all of it. It was pretty interesting. John was talking with Vince, and I was actually more interested in the things that they were talking about relating to Susser than I was interested in the Danny stuff. They definitely had some weird discussions. John was saying stuff like that Susser has been reaching out to him about his health problems for a while now, so none of that is a bombshell, and that the two of them commiserate, and he says things like, oh boy, Susser, we can't stop ourselves from getting injured. Ha ha ha. What a silly thing. Which is a very bizarre thing to say. That doesn't seem like a typical attorney client relationship to me. Typically, I would pay my attorney in order to have conversations, so I wouldn't be commiserating with them about hemorrhaged eyeballs and etc. But whatever.
It happens. Tony Baloney with $1.99 says, just want to say good evening to everyone. Kaylee World Order. Thank you, buddy. Antonio A says, hey, Frog, just wanted to say, fuck you. Thank you.
Everyone wants to say that to Frog, but you're not alone.
That is true. Butterscotch Queen with $5 says, Lucy, can you tell us the docket number for e-courts?
Yes, I can. So the docket number, the index number, is going to be on the top of all of the legal paperwork. So if you don't get this right now, you can find it in anybody's screenshot. It'll be in the top right corner of all the documents, and it is E2026-002928 in Monroe County.
Thank you. Where were we? Woody from Syracuse, are super tips working? They are. We're going to get to those in just a second. After Diz5 says, hope SJ envoys NYC Sneeko style.
Not sure what that means.
Man, the kids have a lot of slang I am unfamiliar with these days.
They're mogging and they're.
I got old fast. Holy shit.
It's kids these days.
Tom R says, hold on, sorry. This one. Says, let's all be serious. SJ found these attorneys at the bar or Vince the Midget. Tabber and Susser and many of the ailments are long-term alcohol related. I think there's a lot of problems over there. You're going to be hearing John talk about all that on Sunday on Rico, by the way. We're going to be covering his show from today. And we'll be on tomorrow too, but we're going to be watching the show with Artie Fletcher tomorrow night. Takedown DDT says, Your Honor, I meant to do that meeting, but my car had to get registered. My cats unexpectedly went missing. I had an eye ting that my comedian lawyer has, and my mother got a phone call. Cheers, Joe, Mike, and Lucy, FSJ.
Nice.
Thank you.
I accidentally choked on a water bottle cap because that's how I open water now.
We're just seeing how effective it was. It's Woody from Syracuse just saying about Lucy, I won't be looking at her legs while I'm pummeling her from behind. What a disgusting piece of shit, John.
So gross.
Hey, Kaylee.
I was describing this to you guys before we went live here, but there's a lot of weird stuff that gets said in porn. There's a lot of vile things that get said to women in porn. I have never once heard a guy in a porno go, I'm going to pummel you. That is so not a thing unless you want to pummel somebody.
We got Tom R again, says, good job, Frog, Mike, and Lucy Tightbox. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate you guys. We got to get back to this because we are running long here. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, so where were we? He already responded. It was only then that any plane. Okay. And then, okay, so Danny writes, recently I've become aware of Mr. Susser's habit in other cases of missing important deadlines, offering incredible excuses after the fact. He has done it to me in this case on the telephone. I hoped he would not try it with Justice Dinafolo, but after his cryptic one-line email, I feared he would do it, and I would have to respond. And unfortunately, Mr. Susser did it. Now, this is really the...
Real quick, the title, number 2.
Of this section, yeah.
That's so funny.
Danny,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Danny is a wordsmith.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
I really game recognizes game. I wish I could show you some of my old reports of investigation. They were always very clever.
So Mr. Susser's incredible bad luck.
Sounds like a name of a bad Willy Wonka sequel, by the way.
Some months ago, Mr. Susser called me wanting to settle the case. And there it is, the second settlement offer that we know of. Then Mr. Susser vanished, popping up twice on the phone since then, claiming all manner of personal emergencies were causing his unavailability. First, he got into a fender bender and needed to buy a new car. Then it was some health issue with his mother in Florida. Unfortunately, I fell for all of it. I expressed sympathy for his various plights, not realizing I was being gullible. My gullibility, unfortunately, caused my clients even more unnecessary attorney's fees. Since then, I have learned that this is Mr. Susser's modus operandi. He misses deadlines and then frantically fires off late, excuse-laden missives to the court. Below are just two examples from the same case with hyperlinks. This is in Southern Bank and Trust v. Leibowitz.
I want to give a shout out before we start reading this, because again, this is where obviously it gets really fun. Dabbling Doofus is the one who initially found these case filings. He was pouring through previous work that Susser did. So great job, Dabbling Doofus.
Yeah, shout out to Dabbling Doofus. The names of the people that are in these court cases now is hysterical. So in Southern Bank and Trust, Mr. Susser, and this is Danny writing, apparently missed some deadlines. He offered a progression of excuses I have reprinted below with hyperlinks to the filings because, candidly, summarizing them simply wouldn't do them justice. Mr. Susser tells the court in Queens that he's late because, now, Mike, this is where it gets good. This is Mr. Susser writing to the court. First, I had a hemorrhage of a blood vessel. Whoop, why did that happen? Damn it. This is the best part. No, this is not the right one. What happened? Ah, damn it. Vamp for me for a second. I don't know what just happened.
Where do you think that the blood vessel was hemorrhaging?
His right eye.
Yeah, damn it.
I did read ahead a little bit.
Oh.
You got excited.
Well, yeah, I met people like this. I had a partner I used to work with in San Diego who was like this. It was always like, oh, I can't make the thing, because it was always when something unpleasant had to get done that all of a sudden there was something terrible. There was always a flood or, a flat tire or something had the kid got sick or whatever.
I have friends who are like this, who are just like, everything always is going wrong in their lives. Yeah. But this is a professional setting. That's different than just saying to your friend, like, oh my God, everything is so, I love complaining about everything because everything is so hard. This is literally talking to a court.
Right.
Okay, so here we are. Hey, what are you doing here?
Evasion ban. Evasion ban.
You're going to get me in trouble.
John. Come get me. You ain't got the balls, Johnny.
Now we're fucked. Damn it. All right.
I'm back, John.
First, I had a hemorrhage in the blood vessel in one of... let me start over. Mike, why don't you...
Evasion ban.
I feel like we're being rated in the most unusual way.
First, I had a hemorrhage of blood vessels behind one of my eyes, causing my eye pressure to rise to 48. 10 to 20 is considered normal. Up until recently, this has required my consultation on a weekly basis to see retina doctors and an ophthalmologist whose vigorous examinations have caused me to lose essentially a day out of the office. Secondly, my office underwent a burst sprinkler pipe, causing 6.5 inches of water to flood my office. In the process of relocating to a temporary storage space, I packed up several boxes of materials that I was able to salvage. And lifting one of the boxes, felt a severe pain in my right arm.
Wow.
From the inside of the elbow to my shoulder. The pain ultimately subsided, although soreness and sensitivity continued. I didn't think any more about it until I woke up with an enormous bruise evidencing significant subdermal bleeding. That could be another good band name, significant subdermal bleeding. Or maybe just subdermal bleeding, actually. Probably better. Following the visit to the ER, I consulted with 2 orthopedists who advised me that I had ruptured my right arm bicep tendon. One stating it was distal. The other stating...
This is way too much. This is way too much detail, right? Like like, why is he saying he's saying too many words for
Way
this?
too many
Like,
words.
just say I got injured. Like
Right.
this would make me so suspicious if I was the judge. And I feel like I would send a DA investigator to go investigate this if I was the judge. Like, go check up on this. Go ask for medical records. Ask for some proof. You know what I mean? Because doesn't this make you suspicious reading this a little bit?
Oh,
Like, why is he providing so much
absolutely.
information?
Yeah, it's over explaining, which again is one of the easiest ways to spot when somebody is lying.
Yeah.
I am just now noticing though something that I did not notice. So this, if I remember correctly, Frog, if you scroll up a little bit, I think that this was filed in September of 2025.
Yes.
Okay, so
remind everyone when he filed his notice of appearance.
Oh, I would have to look that up.
I believe it was September.
I can get it.
Yeah, go ahead, and if you don't mind, because I'm real curious.
Well, I will find that in one moment, and we will go back to that. But you know what else I'm noticing? This is too wordy. This is too many words. You guys are exactly correct about that. But it also is not poorly written. And in the letter that he just filed in the Stuttering John lolsuit, it is very poorly written. It seems as if from between September of 2025 to now to April of 2026, there has been a huge downgrade in the quality of his work.
Or someone else is doing it. He wrote this or he didn't write this. But yeah, so this was filed on 9/16/2025. I don't remember exactly what date he filed his notice of appearance, but I'm pretty sure it was right around this time. So while Lucy looks for that, ruptured is so the one doctor said it was distal and the other said it was proximal. Mike,
why does that matter? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Like, what is it? Yeah, you're injured. It doesn't matter what the doctors think.
The notice of appearance that Bennett Susser filed in the Stuttering John lawsuit was September 12th of 2025.
Okay, that's 4 days before this letter. And here's why this is interesting. So down here, he says, third, I have been dealing with a significant personal matter. Finally, I have been called to assist with several time-sensitive matters. He says that to the court 4 days after he puts his notice of appearance in on this case. Now we're back to Danny writing. Hemorrhaging eyeballs, floods, torn biceps, enormous bruises, physical therapy. As he approaches the end, though, Mr. Susser runs out of specifics. He closes with a vague, significant personal matter and time-sensitive matters at the office.
Dogs and cats living together. Massive
It'll be anarchy.
Yeah.
Then on 2/19/2026, Mr. Susser having apparently missed more deadlines. Now, this again is why I feel like he wrote this on the 6th, intending to send it on Monday, like he said he would respond on Monday, and then is such a clusterfuck he never sent it because he missed deadlines in other cases. So, and this is his excuses, Mike, for this other thing that he missed. I was in a car accident early Thursday morning, and while thankfully no one was injured, my car is totaled, subject to my insurance company's agreement. Again, unnecessary detail. And I have spent the better part of a week out of the office seeking a replacement car, dealing with salvaging a good number of items in my car, and attending to related matters while tending to a few urgent work matters. Returning to the office, I assumed that I was much further in the drafting process in SBT's opposition papers. Mr. Leibowitz called my attention to several items that I believed were addressed in my earlier draft and thought I had included arguments made in SBT's opposition papers, blah, blah, blah. Danny writes here, a week out of the office to buy a new car, and then somehow mistakenly believed he had done work, but he hadn't done it. Again, it just paints a picture of an absolute fucking disaster of an attorney working for an absolute disaster of a fucking client, by the way.
Susser.
Get out of here.
I want that every week. How much do you have to pay him to do that every week? Just to pop in.
Just pop in and say
Susser.
Yeah.
It's one thing to offer these excuses to opposing counsel, but making these representations to a Supreme Court justice is another thing entirely.
Honestly, what I would love to see is for the court to investigate all these previous claims. A lot of this stuff is entirely verifiable or disprovable. They can be like, let's see a police report for the accident. Let's.
Oh, what's worse? What's worse, if he's making it up or that it's all true?
It doesn't matter. But I mean, if he wrote to the court, Lucy, correct me if I'm wrong. Kaylee, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. But if he wrote to the court and said, is that considered perjury? I mean, he wasn't under oath, but if he's writing to the court an official correspondence to the court and saying, this is why I didn't do this or that thing to the judge, he's got problems, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And attorneys have a higher responsibility when it comes to things like that as well. I don't think that there is any way that Susser and Tabber get out of this without at least one of them, but probably, if I had to guess, both of them getting some sanctions from some of the actions that they've taken during this. It seems quite egregious to me what the two of them have been doing. Now, obviously, again, this is all information that Danny is providing to the court relating to another case that Susser handled. So that isn't necessarily going to be related to this Stuttering John stuff, but it
shows a pattern. Yeah. And then here's
exactly why I think Danny is bringing it up in this letter.
Earlier you said it was poorly written, just like his stand-up.
And here's more from Danny's letter. Number 3, plaintiff admits Mr. Benedict is not his lawyer anymore. I suppose it could be said that at least Mr. Susser found time to write a one-line email a week after the court's many efforts to contact him. Tabber Benedict, though, throughout all of this, has still been completely incommunicado. And since I wrote my original letter to the court on 3/27, Mr. Melendez, the plaintiff, has admitted to reporter Will Heron at KADN News 15 that Mr. Benedict is no longer plaintiff's attorneys. And then there's a hyperlink to Will Heron here on Quadfather's podcast saying, John told me he doesn't work with Tabber Benedict. He's now working again with he calls him Susser Bennett, but he meant Bennett Susser. And as Danny writes here, as I mentioned in my prior letter, Mr. Benedict can't just stop working on the case. He is the attorney of record. He filed all the documents. Only the court can let him out. And this is something I know you've talked about a lot, Lucy, is they've got to kind of ask permission to withdraw from the case.
Yeah, you can't just step away and do nothing. I was actually just looking to see the last time that Tabber did anything on this case. And I believe that the answer to that is September. I'm actually not on NICEF right now, so if anybody happens to be in the chat and can
I can't remember if he filed anything after the going to Europe with the love of my life, Natalie.
No, he definitely did file things after that, but it I want to say I don't think that he's filed anything at all since September. So the case started in August, and he filed 45 documents from August to September, and then he just completely went MIA.
Right.
Sorry. Somebody said Susser Bennett was Tony's least favorite kid. That's great.
Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer, yeah.
Killer.
Sledgehammer, as it was. Sledgehammer,
excuse me. And then Danny just kind of closes with explaining that like all of this bullshit that they do costs us money to defend. This is their fucking case. And yeah, he says here, this is for their own case. And he says the court should deny plaintiff counsel's very late request for a virtual conference or adjournment. Now, this is kind of what we talked about earlier, but why I think if there's ever been a reason to deny them, meeting virtually or change, like I know the courts, Lucy, are probably inclined to
accommodate.
Yeah. But you had 12 days from the time of her sending that first email to him sending this letter. That's plenty of time to respond with all this bullshit.
In almost any other case, I would say the court will absolutely grant this request, will grant Susser's request to either make it virtual or adjourn it or both. In any other case, I would say absolutely they are going to get that request granted. I don't think that that's going to happen here. I think we're going forward on April 22nd. And another thing that's so interesting about this particular case is I've been saying since the beginning, I generally would say that anti-SLAPP is extremely, extremely hard to win and that almost nobody has a case for it. And it's really hard to get those attorney fees granted. this is the textbook case for it.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting to look at this case. I mean, regardless of if you're in the Dabbleverse or not, this is just a really interesting lawsuit because it's absurd. We have couch cushions. We have, repeat copy and paste affidavits. We have all of this completely insane stuff. And in addition to that, I think we're going to see some really weird decisions from the court on this one, or maybe atypical decisions from the court on this one.
Can I just throw something in? I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about listening to this tonight. I'm now officially fascinated. This was really interesting. Second thing, he should have done a PS on that letter, which was just PS, boom, roasted.
Yeah.
Manigan says, I think I'm a lawyer now. I got a 670 on my LSATs, Manigan.
And shouldn't we do a slow clap for Danny?
For Danny?
For the attorney?
Honestly. Oh, I actually have one of those. Where is that? This is actual sound from John, one of John's shows. This is the clapping after one of his jokes. Woo. That is 100% real.
100%.
Danny deserves more than that. Come on.
Danny's the best. I mean, fucking unbelievable writing. He's such a good writer. And
yeah, I really respect his writing. That's good quality stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe always jokes around when I use words like, I don't know, parasympathetic in the middle of a sentence without blinking. And says, where else you can hear words like that other than here in Arresting Developments? I do appreciate that writing. That was good shit. Now, Lucy, before we go, I need you to look into the camera and assure my wife that despite the fact that your demo, you're super duper into overweight, bald, 50-something-year-old guys, that you're not coming after me. I think you need to make sure. Mrs. Williver, go ahead. Say the words.
I assure you that I am not coming after your husband. And you need not worry because most people think that the Tightbox is the interesting part of my name, but it's really the Lucy. So no worries on any counts.
All right, Mrs. Williver, you heard it here first. You're safe.
As if she was going to come after one of us, it would be Williver. Please. I drink and I know. Yeah. Comment. Sorry.
Half frog, half Italian, talking with my hands. What? I can't even read the rest of that. What else that says?
I think it says, I don't like alcohol.
Okay. Oh, hey, Kaylee. Raising my glass of whiskey in salute. Ah, very good.
I think that's a euphemism.
Okay. Jumping ahead, I'm really looking forward to the Melendez Vegas beer sales Jerry representation for the Cumia defamation case.
What are you doing here?
Oh, hey, Don.
Oh, hey, guys.
You're going to get me banned. Yeah, so I think that was today, or maybe it was yesterday. John talks about how him and Ava and Vegas Beer Sales Jerry are going to be his legal team for his case when Anthony Cumia sues him for defamation. Delmarva on Tuesday, Chris Brown hockey stick. I know what Delmarva is, but I don't know what Chris Brown hockey stick means. Lucy? Lucy's the youngest and hippest of all of us. If that was something anyone should know, she'd know it.
I'm very out of the loop. I spend all my time listening to Dabbleverse. I can't.
Yeah, we're old. Wes Bravo, been a member for 6 months. Hey, Frog, get a haircut, hippie.
That's right, boy.
I tell you what. Michael P.
Go ahead.
I've tried 5 times to super chat and use the word pummel, but it didn't work. Oh, well, go Bills.
Go Bills, Michael P.
Michael P. got to see Our Lady Peace in Buffalo. It was like a week or two ago. He sent me some pictures. Diz5, $2 says, Sneeko, an IRL streamer, got clocked and maced live. Well, it's fascinating that you bring up IRL streaming because tomorrow on Arresting Developments, are you familiar with Johnny Somali, Mike Williver?
I heard the name. I'm not. I can't wait. It sounds exciting. Is he a sommelier by any chance, or am I close?
No, he's an IRL streamer. Do you know what IRL streaming is?
I know IRL. The kids tell me it stands for in real life.
See, Mrs. Wilbur, this is why it would never work. He doesn't even know what IRL streaming is. IRL streaming is where you go out and stream live just on the street, and most of them fuck with people, and they're really annoying. And this guy's one of the most annoying to do it, and wound up getting arrested in Korea, South Korea, which is the good one, apparently. and we're going to talk about what went on with him.
Very good.
Tomorrow.
Are we doing any of that Sticks Hexenhammer 666 guy? Are we doing that this week or not? 'Cause we caught a lot of hate from evidently his defenders hate us and think we're Nazi Gestapo bootlicking whatever
cops.
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville says, I tried to make it to court, but my cats ate my fingers. Susser! Aaron Brown with $5 says, all of a sudden, Frog has attention to detail. Frog, Kaylee drinks bourbon. Seltzer makes your tummy feel icky. Just wait for the next shipment. And then he says, maniacal laugh. The most maniacal laugh I have is this one. Ain't nothing more maniacal than that, my friend. Please don't send me any more alcohol. Seriously, it's like, wouldn't you rather send it to one of the guys that's going to enjoy, like Zenhauser or Mike Morse might actually enjoy it. Like, you're just going to send it to me to just make me not like it. I guess that's exactly what you're doing. Yeah. Big Daddy Dodo with $2 says, is Danny a dabbler? I will say, he checks in from time to time. Yeah.
I have never spoken with Danny. It's clear that he has a passion for the lawsuit that he's working on right now. But any attorney who is putting screenshots of a super chat from Tongue Punch My Fart Box 6969 into their legal paperwork has to on some level be a dabbler, right? That's hilarious.
I think he checks out some of the shows that talk about the lawsuit, and I think he keeps up with what's going on Reddit, mainly because, some clips that have turned up on Reddit have been very helpful. It's like, I can't watch every single second of a show, but, people post stuff on Reddit and Danny sees it and he's like, hey, can you get this for me? So yeah, he dabbles. Sunflower Dragon says, I'm betting there'll be a virtual hearing. I think that's possible, but I really hope not.
Right now, I've been kind of fluctuating back and forth, but right now what I think is it's going to stick on April 22nd, but they're going to let him do it virtual. But he claims that he can't do it that day regardless. Susser claims that he can't do it on the 22nd regardless if it's virtual or not.
He's got a mediation.
Yeah.
And Mostrote is how I'm going to pronounce that. Mostrote with 20 Mexican pesos. Says, Frog, you didn't save Carl saying behind my paywall. I have John saying it.
Behind my paywall.
I don't know if I have Carl saying it. I've got him saying this.
What I love about Penis Wrinkle,
this,
you're fat and you talk like a moron.
And this.
I actually have a package,
but I don't have behind my paywall. Shout out to Carl. And a couple super tips, actually. Over here. Well, hey, Hamar, our buddy, says, I know a little something about BS suits. Careful, because one time someone sued me and Biz, knowing I had an expensive attorney hoping I'd cave, kept swatting attorneys because the case would have to reset upon approval, spent $100,000 in one. We've spent almost that much. And we are going to win. I can promise you that. Andrew W. says, Kaylee, fingers crossed that your Wednesday courthouse coverage includes an in-person interview with Danny Savalos.
I would be honored. I will definitely be
your
trying to
hands off my man. Takedown DDT closing us out with $5 says, Susser's excuses are the same I use when I'm trying to get out of going out with friends. I just want to stay home on the couch.
Yes.
Got in a car accident and
it's like what's his name? Jake Blues from the Blues Brothers. I ran out of gas. There was a fire. I got a flat tire. I'm sorry, baby.
Real quick, we got a couple more super chats. You guys have been amazing tonight. Thank you so much. Real quick, everybody that super chatted, gifted membership, super tipped, hung out and hit like and watched. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Dave Dorr says, if there's a virtual hearing, will Susser be wearing an eye patch? If there's a God, he will. I don't suppose I'd be able to get the link to the virtual hearing and screen record it. Let's see.
We can hook him up with Sticks Hexenhammer and get him with the eye patch and get him a pirate hat to go along with it. That'd be nice.
And Sunflower Dragon with $5 says, but after the virtual status conference, the judge will be in no fucking nonsense and prickly. Just my guess.
Yeah. If the judge is accommodating to Susser's request this time, the judge will not likely be accommodating any other time.
Yeah, and if it's, they're worried about the expense of him having to go up there for this 20-minute conference, what are they going to do when he has to go up there and argue against the motion? Some of which are unopposed, by the way, if you look at the motion sequences.
The idea that there is enough money to be able to continue this case on plaintiff's side is absurd to me.
Ridiculous.
But what do I know? Just a dumb paralegal.
We'll definitely be back tomorrow. Mike Williver and I will anyway. I guess we can't have Lucy Tightbox every time.
Hey, Lucy might be here. We can't say she definitely won't be. I mean, it's possible.
True.
I will definitely be in the chat because I love the Johnny Somali stuff. So
awesome. Thank you
so
much.
Because you love us, though, too, right?
Yes, that is the words I said first.
Mostly me, though.
She thought that.
Yes.
And Mike Williver, thank you for being here, as always. Always fun hanging out with you. And chat, all 538 of you that are still here, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Come check us out again tomorrow. We're going to talk about Johnny Somali. And we're usually here most Friday nights at 6. So hopefully we'll see you next time. Later, taters.